Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is lovely to have you here. So this is going to be another vlog style video. We're going on a trip to London. So this is basically like country bumpkin gets exposed to city living. I am not a city person. I love living in the countryside in the middle of nowhere. But there are some really cool places in London which we're planning to go to, which is really exciting. So yeah, I thought I'd just put this in as an introduction so you know what's going to happen and come along for the ride. So one of the first things we actually did when we got to London was the Van Gogh like immersive experience. It was kind of like an art show slash like video show actually. It was quite cool. So this is just kind of initially walking in, and it was such an incredible experience. If you're ever in London, I would definitely recommend it. I feel like I didn't really know that much about Van Gogh before I went to this exhibition, and I came away with this whole new appreciation for him, his art and his life basically. Like, he was definitely a bit of a troubled soul, shall we say. Of course, we took a good look at some of his sunflower artworks, which is obviously some of his most famous work, of which there are, I think there's like 11 in this kind of series of sunflowers overall, which is way more than I thought. I initially was quite uneducated with this and I just thought it was the one, but no, there's many. And then we watched this amazing video all about the Starry Night, and it was kind of like a piece of analysis on the art, which I just thought was so interesting, like to get the person who cultivated this exhibition's opinion on such a famous piece of art. One of the key takeaways I got from going around the exhibition was how Van Gogh obsessively refined his art by basically doing the same subject again and again and again, which is why you can see here there's a lot of different interpretations of literally just sunflowers, irises, roses, beautiful flowers within vases. And his kind of tireless exploration of these different flowers helped to, create lots of beautiful paintings that he's now famous for. He completed many of his most famous paintings of flowers during his kind of, towards the end of his life, when he actually had a mental breakdown, which I didn't know. And for example, the painting of the Starry Night was actually painted from the window of his mental asylum, which I know that sounds really dark, but it was so interesting. This was someone I didn't actually know that about. So if you are in London and you want to go see some really cool pieces of art or like interpretations of his art, then I would definitely recommend this. And this final piece was basically a room that you could go into, and they had black and white drawings of some of his most famous paintings, and you could go in there and like colour in the rest of the paintings and then pin them up on the wall. So this was the kind of pièce de résistance for the end of this exhibition. It was basically a room you went into and there were projectors projecting this kind of, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like an art show or a light show of all of his most famous paintings. And it kind of had this like epic music in the background, and it had quotes overlaid on top of the pieces of his art. And it was really such like an awe-inspiring experience. After the Van Gogh exhibition, we then walked around London. I think this is the walkie-talkie, the building you can see there. And what I found so interesting was like the juxtaposition between old buildings and new uber modern skyscrapers. I thought that was really cool. So this is actually St Dunstan in the east, which if you are in this area of London, I think it is literally in the city of London. The financial area, then I'd highly recommend you check out this church. It is so, so cool. So as you can see from that little snippet there, this church was first built on this site in Saxon times. It was then restored by St Dunstan, hence the namesake, in 950 AD, and then rebuilt after the Great Fire of London by Sir Christopher Wren in 1697. Tower was then basically laid to waste during the Blitz and was then restored and opened as a public space in 1967. After that, we went to an amazing place called, I think it's pronounced Leadenhall or Leadenhall Market. So this is, again, in the city of London. And this market actually dates back to 1321 and is situated in what was originally the centre of Roman London. So originally this was like a meat and poultry market, and it is still a market now, actually, that goes on during the week. It obviously wasn't there because we were there at the weekend. But it was such an amazing place to go. I absolutely loved the Victorian architecture there. It was then given a bit of a facelift in the 1990s, where I think everything was repainted, and it's kind of in the state it's in now, and it is absolutely glorious. I would definitely recommend that you go check it out if you're in that vicinity. We are actually both avid coffee lovers, so we went to this amazing place called, I think it's called Plant Roast Coffee. There's quite a few of them dotted around London, but it was so cool. It was literally like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for coffee. It was basically, I think it was being roasted and then directed into the different segments according to what, flavour it was, where it had originated from, and it smelt glorious, I have to say. And you could basically go with a bag and just pick whatever you wanted. So if you are a coffee lover, I would definitely recommend it. We have now consumed all of these coffee beans. Next, we went for a little respite to Kensington Park. This was actually really necessary because I was so tired from kind of just overstimulation, I suppose, from being around so many people. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. Took off my shoes and socks and just did a bit of grounding, and yeah, kind of felt a bit restored afterwards. Then we rounded off the evening by going to an amazing restaurant called, I think it's Sushi Samba, I believe, and it was at the top of this massive skyscraper, and it definitely gave me a bit of vertigo, but the view was stunning. Hi guys, so it's actually about a week, I think, since we've got back from London. Things were so hectic when we got back, we just had to go straight back into work. So I've only just kind of found the time to pop back on and give you a little bit of a debrief, I suppose. I'll obviously talk about it in the voiceover when you're watching it previously to this. And then I picked up a few bits whilst we were in London at the Spitalfields Market, which I will show you. I then want to end this video with a few crystals for the summer solstice, because when this video goes live, the solstice won't be like too far ahead of that. The solstice is, the 21st roughly of June every year. So I wanted to show you which crystals I also use during this time period, which ones kind of work best with this energy at the time of year, because obviously it's a fire festival, there's a lot going on. It's like a really highly energetic time of year. More on that in a second. Let's just discuss London. So yeah, we had a really, really nice time. I really enjoyed it. I loved the Van Gogh exhibition. It was incredible. All of I don't think the camera quite did it justice when it comes to like the lighting and stuff. The light show at the end, it was such a cool experience. It was really, really immersive because there was just lights like all over the floor and the walls, and it was so cool. I've never done anything like that before. So if you are in London, then I definitely recommend checking it out because it was so much fun. So before we went to the Van Gogh Museum, we also pottered around the Spitalfields Market. So I'll show you a couple of bits that we picked up from there. There's not a lot, but I thought I'd just show you anyway, because it's like a Aladdin's cave in there. There's so many really cool stalls. The two pieces of artwork that we picked up, so these are them here. As you can see, they're kind of quite curved because they're basically treated with like oil. It kind of smells like candle wax in a way. Maybe it was, I can't remember if it was candle wax or oil. You okay? My cat's just staring at me. First one I picked up, so this is my partner's, and this is his favourite Frank Sinatra song, so it's My Way, and it's the music sheet to the song. And he's really, really musical. He plays lots of different instruments. So he saw that, absolutely loved it, and picked that up. And then I picked up the music sheet for If Music Be the Food of Love, which is Act 1, Scene 1 in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. So back in the day, I used to do a lot of acting, and I played both Olivia and Viola in Twelfth Night. So this particular play is quite close to my heart. So when I saw this, I absolutely had to get it. I thought it was so cool, especially with like the green detailing on there. I thought that was awesome. And the artist who made these, she said that these are like, I think she said piano sheets or scores or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not particularly au fait with music terminology. Kind of layered this on and layered like the wax or the oil over it to kind of make it like quite thick. It feels like, you know, how you would imagine parchment out of Harry Potter to feel. That's how they feel. It's quite cool. So we were both very happy with those. The other thing that we got was, well, I got was basically, I don't really know how to describe it or show you this, but it's basically a robe. It is like a recycled sari, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's basically this material that is all silk, and it is like, you know, like a dressing gown kind of robe. I just loved the material. I love the colours. I think it's beautiful, this kind of jade teal kind of colour, and the pattern is beautiful. And obviously it's made from recycled silk, which is also really, really cool. So I have basically been living in this. It's so nice, so comfortable. So now that we've quickly gone over the bits and bobs we got from London, I thought we could just go through some crystals that I am going to be working with over the next kind of, couple of weeks as we approach the summer solstice. Obviously, the summer solstice is, as I said, it's around the 21st of June every year, and it is celebrating the start of summer. Like, that is the official first day of summer, and it is also the time of the longest day and the shortest night in our earthly calendar. So it's a really, you know, a big deal. There are some particular crystals I just wanted to talk about that you may be interested in and you could work with too. The first one being red jasper. Oh, hello, Luna. Oh, that's her favourite spot up there, so she may be there for the rest of the video. This isn't actually red jasper, this is brown jasper, but I can't find my red jasper, so you can use your imagination. But basically, I mean, jasper in general is particularly red and brown because of the colours, obviously associated with grounding. So the solstice is a very high energy time of year. You know, it's a fire festival. There's a lot of intense energy, and it can kind of make you feel a little bit like overwhelmed and overstimulated. So working with jasper can kind of help to just bring down that energy a little bit and just make you feel more grounded. This would be a really good thing to meditate with, maybe first thing in the morning. And because it's summer, you know, you can go outside if you're able to, and just put your feet on the grass and meditate with this and really ground yourself, you know, with yeah, that's definitely something that I'm going to be working with. I need to give it a little bit of a cleanse, but I am, yeah, excited to start using this jasper. Next up is moss agate. So here is a sample I have. Moss agate is really good this time of year because this is, you know, it's the start of summer. The leaves are obviously already out, but the summer flowers aren't quite there. You know, they are yet to hit their peak. And the same with, we have like a tiny little vegetable patch, and the seedlings are just, they are up, but you know, they don't look like fruit and veg yet. It just looks like lots of small leaves. So moss agate is good to work with this time of year to kind of help with that push and that growth, particularly, you know, if you're a gardener or a keen gardener, or you want to get into that sort of thing, then working with moss agate can kind of help to connect you with those earthly energies and feel more like in tune with nature, particularly obviously as the summer will be starting very, very soon and then be moving into its full force throughout July and August. This is a great crystal to work with at this time of year and for the coming months. Next up, of course, we have to talk about pyrite. So pyrite, also known as fool's gold, is perfect for this time of year because it welcomes in a lot of prosperity, wealth, and abundance. Summer is typically associated with the kind of prosperous season. You know, this is when the crops are growing, the fruit appears on the trees, the flowers are fully in bloom, all the animals, you know, the baby animals are kind of growing up and maturing. So this definitely resembles like the summer in my perspective. And it also has associations with the sun, of course. You know, it is the summer solstice. So the golden kind of hues from this sort of echo the sunlight and the summertime. So this is a great crystal to work with. Perhaps you could put it on your altar, put it on your bedside table, or wear some pyrite jewelry so this energy is kind of around you. And you can work on like manifesting in that like abundance and wealth and prosperity. You could even use this and kind of speak some mantras first thing in the morning, you know, just hold it in your hand and use mantras such as I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I attract abundance into my life. And that could be a really nice like little morning ritual that you could get going with. The next crystal is Amazonite. So this is a really good crystal around this time of year for, again, that kind of luck and abundance feeling that we welcome in as we move into the summertime. It's also good for enhancing love in your relationships. The summer solstice, again, represents this kind of time of year where there's a lot of like fertility in the air as well. So this kind of works for those love and those nurturing energies that are out there. It is also akin to the jasper in that it works well to soothe any anxiety. So if you're kind of feeling quite overwhelmed by all the energies, or there are any negative energies that may be niggling at you, you could reach for some ammonite, and that would be a great crystal to use. Then lastly, we have tiger's eye. So this is actually a piece of red tiger's eye, but of course you can use the more kind of typical golden tiger's eye during this time of year. Tiger's eye is also a good crystal to use if you are a Gemini too, which Gemini season may have ended by the time this video goes out, but if it hasn't, oh no, actually I don't think it will. No, good crystal to use for Geminis if you have Gemini energy in your chart. Tiger's eye is great for harnessing solar energy. It has a lot of solar and sun associations, which are obviously particularly prominent during this time of year, during the summer solstice. So this is a pretty apt crystal to use if you want to tap into those kind of sunshine, happy, joyous energies. It also taps into those kind of strength and grounding energy that you can also get from the jasper, from the darker stones. Again, this is good for grounding during this time of year. And during the longest day of the year, the energy can get quite intense. So this is good for kind of mitigating those energies if things are feeling a bit much or overwhelmed. Then working with the tiger's eye is a great crystal to use. This is also really easy to find in like jewelry form. It's quite affordable. It's quite a cheap crystal that you can easily get a hold of. So maybe like a tiger's eye bracelet would be a really nice piece that you could wear just to kind of feel grounded and touch base with that strong energy that also brings feelings of like inner strength and like willpower, and tapping into the sun's kind of stage in that it is inviting in that growth and that prosperity during this time of year. So there's lots of kind of common themes there that are going on during the summer solstice. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. Let me know in the comments which crystals you're going to be using during this time of year. And if you have any questions about the London vlog, about where we went and all that kind of thing, I'm happy to drop any links. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We're nearly at 2,000 subscribers, which may not seem like a big deal, but to me, this is a big deal. I've been on YouTube it will be a year in June. So yes, it will be a year now, which is kind of crazy. And I appreciate each and every one of you who has clicked that subscribe button. So thank you in advance. Have a lovely rest of your day. Stay happy and blessed be.